transform from within both humanity and the whole cosmos in the sure expectation of a new heaven and a new earth, when with the powers of evil vanquished, your glory will shine eternally. May the grace of the Jubilee reawaken in us pilgrims of hope, a yearning for the treasures of heaven. May that same grace spread the joy and peace of our Redeemer throughout the earth. To you, our God, eternally blessed be glory and praise forever. Amen. Capuchin TV.
Forward ever, backward never. Let us move ahead and so on. Even children, kuna kakitu tunaweza kufanya ili kanisa iweze kumetameta.
Endelea kutazama Capuchin TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Hello and a warm welcome to today's edition of Catholic Focus. My name is Deborah Mwanya and our sign language interpreter for this bulletin is Jane Mbaya. We truly appreciate you, our local viewers, for joining us every other day as we journey together in faith, service and community development. Thank you for always making time to be part of this bulletin where faith meets action and stories of transformation are told. Welcome. And we start here at CARITAS Microfinance after celebrating a decade of transforming households and uplifting communities. This past June, CARITAS Microfinance has taken another bold step in its mission to bring financial services closer to its customers across Kenya and beyond. Today, the bank officially upgraded its current branch at the Well, marking a significant milestone in its ongoing journey of economic empowerment. The celebration brought together staff, the faithful and community leaders in a spirit of gratitude, growth and shared purpose. The event was marked by a Holy Mass presided over by Right Reverend David Kamau, Auxiliary Bishop of Nairobi, underscoring the bank's strong foundation in Christian values.
It is a realization that the new branch is a gift from God. That's why we are celebrating Mass. That's why we are here to bless, showing the interconnectedness of the bank and God. The bank contributes a lot to us who are working there, and not to us who are working there as also the bank, but just imagine the people who come for loan, those who are coming there. You are contributing, you are giving meaning to their life.
We also need to be empowered socially and economically. And that is the reason why this instrument that God gave to us through the Mother Church and through the Archdiocese of Nairobi, CARITAS Microfinance Bank, is a unique instrument to participate in the mission of our Lord Jesus Christ, to empower the people of God, the families, institutions, and even individuals, that we may be empowered socially and economically to live a good life in its fullness. When you look at what has been done by CARITAS Microfinance Bank in terms of the socio-economic transformation in our societies, is key and actually is so significant.
The only two that are ahead of us within our own subsector is Faulu and KWFT, and these two have been in existence for the last 40 years. I think we need to clap for ourselves. I believe as we move and guided by our third strategic plan, we shall be able to pride ourselves that we are the microfinance bank of choice, and we lead, others follow. And I believe that the upgrading of current marketing center as a branch today marks another milestone of achievement of this bank.
Indeed, CARITAS Microfinance continues to show how faith-based institutions can power real transformation in our communities. Congratulations to them on this milestone. And now moving forward, President William Ruto has urged Africa and the international community to move with courage and urgency in tackling the continent's development challenges. Speaking at the ongoing TICAD 9 summit in Yokohama, Japan, the president outlined 5 key areas of focus ranging from trade and investment to global credit reforms and public-private partnerships.
The head of state said Africa's challenge is no longer about knowing what needs to be done, but rather having the boldness and urgency to take action. He highlighted the Africa Continental Free Trade Area as a game changer, noting that intra-African trade could grow significantly in the coming decade.
Africa's journey to economic transformation faces significant impediments, which we all recognize. The challenge before us is not about knowing what needs to be done, but whether we have the courage and urgency to do it. Currently, less than 18% of Africa's exports are traded in the continent, compared to over 60% in Europe and Asia. According to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, Africa must trade more with itself to unlock the vast potential of markets, open rivers of opportunity for our people, create wealth, and drive inclusive prosperity. Intra-Africa trade accounts for only 15% of total continental trade. By all credible estimates, under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, intra-African trade can surge by up to 50% in just 10 years. This would generate immense wealth, create millions of decent jobs, expand opportunities for MSMEs, and open new markets for African goods and services.
President Ruto also called for reforms in the global credit rating system, saying it unfairly penalizes African countries during global shocks.
I have also been a strong proponent of reform of the international financial architecture. The current global credit rating system often overlooks Africa's unique economic realities, unfairly penalizing our countries during periods of global distress. This must change. Progressive reforms are essential to unlock affordable, predictable, and sustainable financing for development. I therefore support the proposal to establish an African credit rating agency, complemented by reforms in global credit rating systems to address structural inequalities.
On development, the president underscored the role of the private sector, calling for stronger public-private partnerships to drive Africa's transformation.
Given the constrained fiscal space in many African countries, the private sector must also play a central role through effective public-private partnership. A vibrant private sector brings not only capital to bridge financing gaps, but also innovation, technology, and efficiency critical to sustainable growth.
He concluded by urging leaders to act boldly, saying true transformation cannot be achieved through endless planning or hesitation.
Transformation cannot be achieved through endless strategizing, planning, or prevarication. It demands action, the courage to make courageous decisions today, even when inconvenient in the short term, because the long-term good of our people is what matters most.
Africa's voice on the global stage is becoming stronger, and these calls for fair systems and urgent action are a step toward unlocking our continent's full potential. Moving forward, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Julius Ogamba-Migos, has reaffirmed Kenya's commitment to science, technology, and innovation as key pillars for socio-economic transformation. The CS made these remarks while addressing the PASET Regional Scholarship and Innovation Fund Conference at ISIPE in Nairobi. Our reporter Peter Mwangi attended the conference and filed this report.
Regional and international leaders gathered at the International Center for Insect Psychology and Ecology for the PASET RSIF conference, a meeting dedicated to strengthening Africa's scientific and technological capacity. The RSIF, PASET's flagship program, focuses on building high-quality talent and fostering innovative research solutions for Africa's development needs.
So we appreciate the high-impact research that is taking place at ISIPE and the output that it produces. As Kenya, we are proud in hosting ISIPE as an international organization for the last 55 years since it was founded by one of our pioneer, Professor Thomas Odhiambo. It's interesting that about a month ago I met Babangida, who told me that when he was a younger man, Professor Odhiambo invited him at the time that he was founding this institution. And from the interaction that he had with Professor Odhiambo when he went back to Nigeria, he was able to establish such centers and also become a proponent of science, leading to his contribution of $5 million to set up the African Academy of Sciences, which has been going on, and we have our own here in Kenya. So the impact of this institution and the people that it has touched is far and wide. So ladies and gentlemen, we commit to strengthen our mutually beneficial partnership with ISIPE because of the continued positive impact on nature and society with insect science.
The Cabinet Secretary also highlighted Kenya's ongoing reforms in higher education, aimed at aligning training with the market demands and national development goals.
As you are aware, Kenya was among the first PASET country members to contribute the minimum $2 million to the PASET Regional Scholarship and Innovation Fund in 2017, thereby setting an example for other countries to join PASET. Kenya also hosted the 4th PASET Forum in Nairobi in 2017 under the patronage of the then Deputy President, who is now the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. After the depletion of the initial commitment of $2 million due to the high uptake of scholarships by Kenyans, the government of Kenya further committed an additional $2 million in 2024 to ensure continued support and improve the quality in higher education. The government has also hosted the 6th PASET Forum in Nairobi last year.
ISIPE Director General Dr. Abuten Kawano appreciated the government of Kenya for supporting applied sciences knowledge, particularly through PhD scholarships, to students across the country. He added that embracing technology remains vital for Africa's economic growth
and scientific research, as well as strategic partnerships that link the output from these investments with industry and society. A good example is the Partnership for Skills in Applied Sciences, Engineering and Technology, PASET, with its Regional Scholarship and Innovation Fund, RCIF, to which the government of Kenya is contributing $4 million to train up to 40 PhDs in the country and across Africa. ICIPE is privileged to be the regional coordination unit of PASET since 2018. Honorable Minister, the PASET Governing Council has extended ICIPE's mandate to manage RCIF for another 3 years, beginning in January 2026. We are grateful for the trust that PASET and the government of Kenya have for ICIPE. We pledge our continued commitment to PASET's objective of developing skills in applied sciences, engineering, and technology for the socio-economic transformation of Africa.
Delegates at the conference showcased research areas such as climate-smart agriculture, renewable energy, ICT and health sciences, signaling Africa's growing role in global innovation. Kenya remains key supporter of the RSIF, with ICIPE hosting several doctoral and postdoctoral programs to nurture the continent's next generation innovators. Peter Mwangi, Catholic Focus, Nairobi.
Quite an inspiring report there, and moving forward on to a closer report. Busia County residents are calling for an urgent boost in the agriculture sector as part of efforts to ensure food security and fight poverty. Speaking during a public participation forum in Amagoro, they urged the county government to expand mechanized farming by increasing the number of tractors available to farmers. Sasha Elizabeth has this report.
In Amagoro, Busia County, residents turned out in large numbers for a public participation exercise, with agriculture topping their list of priorities.
Na tumekuwa na activity ambayo ni kuhusisha wananchi kwa mipangilio ya serikali ya kaunti ya Busia. Activity yenye tuko nayo hapa leo ni County Annual Development Plan ambayo ni the second level in planning for county projects and programs. Kwa hivyo ya kwanza ilikuwa CIDP na wananchi walihusishwa vizuri, which is a 5-year plan. Kwa hivyo from that CIDP tunatoa programs and projects for a financial year.
The locals, led by Humphrey Odipo, Peter Imokori and Beatrice Ojambo, said the county's 28 tractors are far from sufficient to meet demand.
Tumeambiwa kwamba Busia County iko na tractors karibu 28. Na kwa sasa tuko na shida na mambo na ukulima. Kwa hivyo tumepropose kwa ile CIDP kwamba iongezwe kidogo kwa sababu mahitaji ya wakulima iko juu zaidi, na yale tractors ambayo imekuwa proposed haiwezi tosheleza yale mahitaji ambayo kwa sasa wakulima wanahitaji.
They want the fleet expanded to at least 70 machines to enhance production and unlock Busia's full agricultural potential.
Na nikiangalia vizuri, nilitembea kule Busia nikaona kwamba kuna tractors zile zimekaa idle, hazitumiki. Tunashangaa kwamba county government inasema kwamba chakula na mambo ya ukulima iimarishwe, ili hali sehemu ya ukulima haiwezekani kwa sababu kuna tractors zinalala tu kule Malaba. Hata hapa kuna tractors 2-3 ziko hapa, tunaambiwa zile vifaa zinatolewa kwa hizi tractors zikipelekwa kule to service those ones which are servicing. mbona tusiweze kupata zile tractors zifanye kazi?
Busia, they say, has fertile soils and favorable weather patterns, but poor mechanization has limited productivity, exposing families to food shortages and worsening poverty levels.
Teso ni mahali ambapo ina ukuzi mkubwa sana wa vyakula. Na Teso land inaweza kukuza chakula aina tofauti sana. Hasa upande hata kama ni njugu, groundnuts, kuna ukuzi huo. Ikiwa wanaweza leta hata mashini, wa introduce mashini hapa ya kutengeneza mafuta yetu sisi wenyewe, hiyo bado itasaidia watu wa Busia, watapata chakula kwa kawaida. Na pia tuna hali fulani shamba kupimwa pH yao. Ikiwa itapimwa pia mtu ajue hapa ninapopanda naweza panda kitu kipi hususa ambacho kitasaidiana na udongo wangu hapa. Jambo hilo pia naweza kufanya ukuzi wa shamba ama vyakula tupate.
Tunahitaji kwamba mambo ya cotton ikuwe kwamba imeletwa, na pia tunahitaji kwamba soya beans, kwa sababu mambo ya soya beans imekuwa chini. Tunahitaji kwamba county government of Busia pia iweze kusaidia wakulima ili waweze kupanda mimea ya avocado. Pia kuna banana growing ambao sasa wananchi wa Malaba North wengi wanapenda kupanda ndizi. Kwa hivyo kama county government of Busia itatusaidia itakuwa ya maana.
Sub-County Administrator for Teso North, Silas Juma, commended the residents for openly highlighting their needs, noting that the county will use such forums to set up a clear framework for project implementation at the ward level.
Kuna miradi ambao walikuwa wamepangia hapo awali na haijafanyika. So tunafuatilia, na miradi hiyo nyingine ni kwamba iko kwa implementation process. Najua kwamba project designs na bill of quantities sometimes inachukua muda kupita a physical year. Kwa hivyo they are in agreement, and we are in agreement that going forward projects zinaendelea tu zikifanyika, not necessarily they should fall within a financial year. Tulipoanza devolution kulikuwa na ile a lot of excitement ya wananchi kuparticipate kwa public participation, but at some point kwa sababu ya challenges zenye zilikuwa, sometimes ilikuwa inafanyika Busia and many could not travel there. But now the county government imeanza ku devolve public participation at the ward and sub-county level. Tayari tunaanza kuona that participation inaendelea kubuild. And also we are in agreement that wananchi waliuliza kwamba ni vizuri wale ambao wanahudhuria county annual development plan pia wahusishwe kwa county fiscal strategy paper na pia wahusishwe kwa budget ili kuwe na hiyo consistency. And we are in agreement kwamba we will keep the same people even if many others will come to join in, but we must have a group that we work with. If it's 100 that understand the process, we work with the 100, then the others come to back up.
With agriculture at the heart of Busia's economy, residents are optimistic that strengthening this sector will not only secure food supplies, but also create employment and boost incomes across the region.
Yale imeguzwa kuhusu mambo na agriculture. Agriculture haiwezi kufanya vizuri kama hakuna mabarabara. Aswa tunaomba mabarabara katika Malaba North ziundwe ili sasa iwezeshe mimea kufika penye kwa industry penye inahitajika. Kuna hii barabara ambaye imeharibika hata tangu ijaundwa, inatoka Wangila Road mpaka Kaukotad. Hiyo barabara imezuia maendeleo katika hili ward sana. Kwa hivyo ikiguzwa na kuangalia mabarabara zingine ambavyo inakwama, inafanya mimea isifike kwa ile industry, kwa kufanya biashara kwa soko inakuwa ngumu. Na tena tunaomba ijengwe pia soko ile mimea inapoletwa pale iweze kununuliwa. Kaswa hiyo soko ya Osere City ni ile soko imeanza kwa kukua kwa haraka sana, ambayo iko mpakani baina ya Kenya na Uganda, ambapo tunaifurahia sana hiyo soko. Ikijengwa modern market itafanya hii eneo la Busia iendelee mbele sana.
Asasha Elizabeth for the Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV.
And now moving forward, workers at Sony Sugar Company have downed their tools in protest over unpaid salaries and alleged unlawful termination of contracts. The employees say they have gone for 2 months without pay, leaving many struggling to survive. Lilian Kimambi has the details.
A tense scene at the gates of Sony Sugar Company as workers laid down their tools, demanding the full settlement of their salaries for the past 2 months. The protest comes amid growing frustration, with employees citing unfair labor practices, including what they call unlawful termination of contract. Among those affected is Eunice Okech, a single mother, who says the unpaid salaries have left her worried about her son's school fees.
I'm standing here as a woman who is taking care of her children. School fees is on my head. Food is on my head. Clothing is on my head. So everything I'm doing, I'm talking on behalf of every woman that we need money. And we need the clarification on how they want to pay us. If it is redundancy period thing that they are talking about, how will they approach it? How will they pay us? Will they give us money before giving us termination letters, or will they give us termination letters before? After that, then they will give us money. We want money. I've worked here from 2009.
The employees also say the company has remained unclear on when the dues will be paid, even as the government imposed exit date of October 31st, 2025 draws closer. Health workers at the company, including nurses, have also expressed concern over the situation.
Wanipatie kama Mpesa, sisi wafanyikazi wanalia. Hakuna mtu anaogopa kwenda kwao. But hiyo barua, kitu ya kwanza check. Unipatie barua yangu sijakataa. Okay, unataka saizi watu waende nyumbani. President alikuwa akisema nini? Wana create job. Mimi ni age yangu imefika. Na je, vijana wadogo hawataenda wapi? Saizi sukari imelala hapa kwa warehouse. Kwani watu wanataka kupackage sukari kutoka nje waanze kuuza ama wanataka kufanya nini? Tunataka tujue kweli kwa sababu tuko hapa na sisi tunahitaji pesa yetu.
For now, the workers say they will remain on strike until their demands are fully addressed. Yanki Manthi, reporting for Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV.
And lecturers at Moi University have officially downed their tools after failed negotiations with management. The Dons under the university's academic staff union, WASU, say they will not resume duties until their concerns are fully addressed. Also, Yvonne has the details.
For 3 years, negotiations between Moi University management and the lecturers' union have dragged on without a resolution. Now the Dons say they have had enough, declaring a full-blown industrial strike.
February, but in March, the Ministry of Labour invited us to go through a conciliation process. And please remember, last year we had gone through a very lengthy conciliation process, which at the end failed. Now, the Minister for Labour appointed the county labour officer for Uasin Gishu so that we could go through, the parties could have conciliation, which we accepted. We are willing, we are always available, we want to discuss, we want to see how we can solve the problems of Moi University. So we went through the conciliation process, and unfortunately, and very sadly, the employer did not offer any hope. At the end of the conciliation, the county labour officer, on behalf of the Minister for Labour, gave us what is called a certificate of unresolved dispute. We have launched a strike. That means starting from today, we are on strike. We will not be available at our place of work. We will not give the services that are required of us.
At the heart of the grievances is the staff medical scheme. Under the SHA arrangement, lecturers say the scheme has left many of them without reliable access to health care.
We are asking for things which we agreed on in the return to work formula. What picture does it give, or what image does it give the country when you sit down with government, you sit down with management, or you sit down with fellow public servants, you get into an agreement, and then they go back on that agreement. Are these return to work formulas mere pieces of paper? Yeah. So as lecturers, And as members of WASU in Moi University, we are simply asking for the law to be followed and for contracts to be honored. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to keep going through this same cycle year in, year out.
The union insists that until a comprehensive solution is reached, the strike will continue indefinitely. Reporting for Catholic Focus, my name is Onuso Yvonne.
And now on a spot check on the business world, Kenya's fashion and beauty industry is undergoing a transformation driven by youthful population, rising urban lifestyles, and booming demand for modern self-care. Now valued at over 100 billion, the sector is not only redefining trends but also reshaping livelihoods and offering solutions to youth unemployment. Let's take a look.
In a modest salon tucked behind the bustling streets of Thika town, trims a client's hair with practiced precision. She was a student at Uzuri Institute, thanks to a growing industry that's rewriting the rules of employment for Kenya's youth.
It has so many career opportunities. Like maybe once you are done with cosmetology, you can't be a barber, you can't be a nail technician, you can't be a masseur. It has so many various career opportunities. Technical schools or technical courses are good to the student because they can be able to employ themselves, and also they can be able to create opportunities for others.
Across the country, the fashion, design and beauty industry is experiencing a surge. More young people are turning to grooming and style not just as personal statement, but as a profession, one that's increasingly viable in today's job market.
What I can say about the sector of cosmetology and the cosmetologist is it is growing too fast. So that it means everyone in the market, even if you are there and you're employed somewhere else, you want to relate yourself with a small spa or a nail technician spa, then you can employ someone, then you yourself, you can supervise the work. And at the end of the day, you'll get some money on it.
According to trainers and industry experts, this shift is being driven by more than just vanity, improved access to technology, online shopping platforms, and a culture of entrepreneurship are giving rise to a new generation of creatives who are determined to monetize their talent.
A lot have changed because nowadays you'll see most of the people, they want to be very beautiful, they want to make their hair. That means when you have this course, that means if you go to the market, everything will be simple and true. Then whatever it is done into the market, you'll see most of the people, they have money. Maybe you have a small spa and then you are doing the nails, only the nails or the massage. You are the masseuse or the masseur. That means those changes, if you are not in school or if you are not being trained in school, it will be more difficult to even to do those practically.
From tailoring and design to barbering, cosmetology and clinical therapy, vocational courses in the sector are becoming popular alternatives to traditional academic routes. With there are notes that majority of her graduates don't wait for job offers, they create them.
When we talk of the fashion and interior design industry, it has evolved in that a lot of people are now embracing wearing nice clothes, the style, the beauty, decorating their houses, and things are no longer like the way they were in the past, and they have come up now such that we have now the need for people who are styling others, fashion stylists and other people. But this industry is actually one of the biggest. It might not be seen, but it is actually one of the biggest. That is why even in Kenya, a lot of economy is going into the clothing sector. The reason why we have mitumba is because people like wearing good clothes. And that is why we are saying we as a country, we need to embrace people who are now making locally made designs, locally made styles. Instead of us importing bales and bales of mitumba, we can actually employ ourselves if we equip our students, if we equip our young people to do the technical courses like in fashion and interior design, they can be able to do that such that we are now returning back to our economy without having to import from other countries.
Yet, challenges persist. Students and newly trained entrepreneurs say that access to affordable credit remains a stumbling block. Stakeholders are now calling for targeted government support, particularly in financing technical students at private institutions. They urge that boosting such programs could drastically reduce youth unemployment and equip the workforce with market-ready skills.
Ningependa serikali iweze kutusaidia na kutupa mikopo ili tuweze kuanza kazi zetu na ili tuweze kuemploy ambao hawana kazi.
So I want to urge our government in Kenya to embrace the cosmetology courses and also to support our students.
Urge the government to invest in the technical courses, especially the schools which are offering, like here at Uzuri Institute, because we find the government helping those in universities, those doing degrees, but at the end of the day, those people end up not doing anything. But when they invest in such institution, in people who are doing technical courses, people who are able to employ themselves and give back to the economy, then I think we'll move well as an economy.
With e-commerce opening new markets and modern grooming becoming part of everyday life, the industry's future looks bright and deeply rooted in homegrown talent. What was once seen as a niche or informal trade is fast becoming a cornerstone of Kenya's creative economy. Reporting for Catholic Focus, Amorin Kimani.
On to the sports world, the government has pledged to fast-track the rehabilitation of Bomet Stadium ahead of the new FKF Premier League season. The stadium, home to newly promoted FC Bomet, will also serve athletics and community needs. The patron of APS Bomet, Kipchumba Murkomen, says the upgrade will allow the team to host home matches, though they will temporarily use Kericho Greens Stadium. Club chairman Bishop Fred Akama targets a league title within 3 seasons, while the Michael Nam coach side boosted the 10 new signings will kick off against Shabana FC at Gusii Stadium on September 21st.
We're here to look for money and to support the team. First of all, when I was requested to be the patron of this team, the first thing I was apprised of is the football pitch. And we quickly visited Bomet, and I realized that this stadium is in a very pathetic stage. It cannot really possibly hold a Premier League match. Just remember that my 3 months in the Ministry of Sports gave me enormous experience when I was working on Kasarani. When I go to Kasarani now, I'm very happy because we had to go around this, change the pitch, new grass, this one. So I had a very close relationship with CAF, and I understood the importance of standards. And even before I left the ministry, we had made it very clear through the Sports Kenya that standards must be imposed on all our pitches in the country. So I agree with those who say that Bomet pitch at the moment is not anywhere. In fact, it is a shock that it was a Super League pitch, that somebody played in that pitch and qualified to Premier League, because the stadium is really in a very pathetic state, both in terms of the grass, but also the sitting area, the security of the place, but also hygiene facilities around the place cannot hold many people playing in one place. So I visited the place. We thought we were going to do small adjustments in the pitch, but we've realized it needs massive kind of work, almost like rebuilding, almost like it was better if you were starting afresh.
And that sports update brings us to the end of our today's edition of Catholic Focus. On behalf of our production team and our sign language interpreter, Jane Bayer, I sincerely thank you for spending your time with us. We appreciate your support and commitment to sharing in stories of faith that inspire faith, service, and transformation. Until next time, I am Deborah Mania. Stay blessed and have a wonderful evening. I will leave you with an update of today's saint, Saint Pius X.
Today, the Church celebrates the memorial of Saint Pius X. Pope Pius X, born Giuseppe Sarto, was the first pope elected in the 20th century. He came to the papal office in 1903 and died 11 years later in 1914, just as World War I was beginning. He was born in 1835 at Ries, near Venice, and was one of 8 children. His family was poor. He felt a calling to be a priest at a young age and was ordained in 1858. After 26 years, he was named Bishop of Mantua, Italy, and in 1893, he became Patriarch of Venice. As Pope, he issued decrees making the age of First Holy Communion earlier at the age of 7 from 12 years, and advocated frequent and even daily reception of the Eucharist. He promoted the reading of the Bible among lay people, reformed the liturgy, promoted clear and simple homilies, and brought back the Gregorian chants. He revised the breviary, reorganized the curia, and initiated the codification of canon law. He died in 1914 of natural causes, reportedly aggravated by worries about the beginning of World War I. Pope Pius X was canonized by Pope Pius XII in 1954. He is the patron saint of First Holy Communicants and pilgrims. Saint Pius X, pray for us.
Keep watching Capuchin TV, your staunchly Catholic identity channel. You are watching Capuchin TV. For any complaints, comments, or compliments on our programming, you can either write to us on info@capuchintv.co.ke or you can call us directly on 0717 424 866. Your complaint shall be addressed within 7 days. Remember to keep a copy of your communication with us. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity.